Hi neighbors, it's Bryson Johnson, longtime business owner, 20 years in this district, cybersecurity engineer, and I'm running for State House District 21, Apex and Cary. This messaging is not about personal attacks, but I think it's critically important that you understand that there are night and day differences between myself and Ya Liu. My opponent, a two-term representative who has not passed a single bill into law as a primary sponsor. We have too many people milking the taxpayer today. We don't even know where she stands on major issues or really any issue because she refuses to engage. Her messaging, straight from the Democrat Party and PR firms, whereas my messaging is straight from me, myself alone. And she accepts PAC money. In 2024 alone, $7,000 from a single PAC, just one of her PACs. When push comes to shove, she says she's for the people, but how do you think she's going to vote? Exactly the way that they want her to. I think this is one of the most damaging parts of modern politics, and most people hate it. Too many people enter knowing it's wrong, but yet, like Ya Liu, they participate in a corrupt system which everyone hates. I think most people start in politics wanting to do good, but they don't set boundaries for themselves. I've set barriers to not let my ego outweigh my conscience. That's why I say I'll represent you the way that you'd represent you. I also believe that leadership matters. I've held a top secret clearance, passed a polygraph, and worked in positions tied to national security and trust. I've never been placed on a remediation or improvement plan by any employer. By contrast, your representative was investigated while working for the town council of Cary while the government was shutting us down for COVID. The North Carolina bar later disbarred Ya Liu for 2 years for mismanagement of financial trust accounts. This was stayed for 3 years for probation, where a representative from the North Carolina bar had to babysit her for 3 years to make sure that her financial records were legitimate. Now, let me ask you, if you were looking for an attorney, would you choose them if they had this record? Then why in the heck would you want them as your representative? I'm not a lawyer and probably wouldn't make a good one, but haven't we had enough of propping people up who've lost our trust? I believe in checks and balances. My opponent, she supports giving more authority to local town councils, but when Cary and Apex town councils are already overwhelmingly controlled by one party, even the Cary town manager facing investigation largely because factionalism created an environment where leadership just turned the other cheek to corruption. But Liu, she believes in that greater power. Yet we should be asking whether giving more unchecked authority to local government is healthy for balanced representation. This campaign is different because it's grassroots. In her last campaign, my opponent raised well over $100,000 in campaign funds, but much of it flowed through the Democrat Party and political consultants. I don't use consultants. My words are my own, my ideas are my own, as I said. I speak directly to you. Politicians often claim they represent everyday people while, like Ya Liu, operating inside elite political circles. Voters should ask themselves whether spending tens of thousands of campaign dollars at country clubs reflects the priorities of working families struggling with affordability, housing costs, and rising expenses. I encourage you to visit brysonfornc.com and support a campaign that stands on its own merits.